To make money in real estate, sometimes you need to think outside the box. We'll show a handful of beginners how to profit with short-term rentals using properties they don't own.
This one could bring in $3,000 or $4,000 a month.
They will need to prove they have what it takes to become a house hacker.
Based on my success with Airbnb and with using other people's properties, I'm going to teach you the 5 L's to be able to use properties you don't own to start making money today. And these 5 L's are locate, lease, make livable, list, and leverage.
In previous episodes, Brian taught us the first 2 steps of his 5-step process, which are to locate and lease properties. Let's rejoin our contestants as we learn the 3rd step, which is to make properties livable.
Now, the 3rd L of the B&B formula is to make it livable. Now, what does that mean? That means we're going to get the property ready for the guests. We're going to stage it and furnish it unless it's already furnished. And then we're going to put the right amenities in place so that those guests feel welcomed and are going to give us 5-star reviews. Welcome everybody to this new property that we're going to look at. As you know, I love house hacking. I love making money with properties that I don't own and teaching other people how to do it. I've done it with many properties. I've taught thousands of people how to do the exact same thing. As you remember, the 5 L's that I taught you, one of them is to make the place livable. And the reason that we're at this property is because I want to give you an opportunity to pitch me as the owner. What we're going to do is we're going to have a competition today to see who can stage this property the best. I'm going to take you through, I'm going to give you a tour of the property, and we're going to pick one room, and everybody's going to compete to see who could stage that room the best. And the winner overall of this entire competition gets to take my property and put it on the home sharing sites and start making money. Does that sound good?
Great.
Okay, so why don't we go inside and take a look.
Still to come on House Hackers. The contestants compete to see who will win this competition using Brian's 5-step strategy.
What if you could launch your own profitable B&B side hustle in the next 30 days? What if you could work with Brian and his team to profit with Airbnb in your city? To learn more, click the link below this video or visit freebnbcall.com.
All right, so we are in the living room right now. Let's go ahead and move back here towards the bedrooms. This entire place was renovated top to bottom, and we're in an average size bedroom here. I think this is probably about 10 by 12 feet. So I want you to think, with an empty canvas like this, what would you do? What would you put in this room? And this is the largest of the 3 rooms, so you don't have a lot of room here. You need to think about how many people you can put in this property comfortably and how you can sleep the most people possible, because that's where your money's going to be. Your money's going to be in heads in beds, as many people as you can fit. So each room that we go into, you want to think about that, and you also want to think about, is there a potential to put people in other rooms like the living areas if we were to put a sleeper sofa in there. So this is the first room. We're not going to go through all the bedrooms, but let me go ahead and show you some of the other living areas and important areas of the house. Let's go this way. All right, we've got a cozy little kitchen here. Not very big, but it's functional. It's got everything you need, and there's not a lot of room here. So you're gonna have to think, how are you gonna get this place ready, make it feel homely, make it feel comfortable for people. But I want you to consider what else you could do here to finish this out in this room. All right, let's go ahead and go in here to the main living area. Now, staging might sound like the same thing as furnishing, but it's not. Staging is what you do to paint a picture of that property in the mind of your guest. You can go ahead and put the place settings on the table and make it look like it's ready for dinner. It's ready for a 4-course meal. And if you show a photo like that, now I can see myself sitting down to dinner with my family in that dining room. So we are now in the most important part of the house. This is the living area. There's 2 in this house. This is the larger one, the den. And this room right here is going to be the room that you're going to compete on. Okay? I want you to come up with a written plan and a budget for this to stage it to get it ready to turn into a B&B. Do you think you can do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now the reason this is so important is because when you go to list your property, I don't generally suggest that you list and show a picture of the bedroom. That's a big mistake. A lot of people put a picture of the bed first. I think it's a better idea to show the living area, especially if it's staged perfectly. There's so many creative things you can do in this room that you can't do in any other. The only exception to that would be if you have a really nice exterior of the home, if it's on a lake or if it's on some kind of really unique situation where you can show the outside of the property, you could certainly do that as your first photo. But for most places, most properties, you're going to want to show the living area as the key shot. And that first key shot, that photo that you put in your listing is the most important, because if nobody clicks on that photo, they're never going to see your listing and they're never going to book. So it's very important that we dial in this room to make it so enticing to guests that they're going to want to book the place. So here's what I want to do. There's going to be 2 criteria by which you're going to be judged. Number 1 is the budget. You get to decide how much you're going to spend in the room. And number 2, what is your plan? What are you going to put in here? So everything's going to be done online. You're going to send me a home video showing me what you're going to do with the space. You're going to show me the items, photos of each particular piece, large pieces that are going to go in here, and how you would design it. What's the overall theme, the overall look and feel of this room? Once I review those plans, once I review the budgets that you come up with, then I'm going to pick a winner. Can't wait to see what you present. Are you ready to take on the challenge?
Yes.
Let's do it.
The contestants immediately get to work, searching Brian's rental property for ideas and inspiration. They are competing with one another on step 3, make livable. The winner of this challenge will get to list Brian's house on Airbnb for a profit. A few days later, another challenger, Kyler, joins our contestants.
All right, so you can see this place is empty. I got a couple pieces of furniture throughout. But I want to take you to the back room here because this is the big living area, and this is where I want everybody to tell me what they're going to do, and particularly you to see how you would stage this place to put it on the site. Staging is important for 2 things. Number 1, the photos, so that you project this property on the site that is a place that people want to book. And number 2 is for the guest experience, so that when they show up to the property, not only are they wowed, but they give you a 5-star rating. And if you want a really good place to get ideas, go on Google Images and search for hotels and resorts and look at what hotels do. Look at the way they market their rooms and the way they market their properties. We're going to steal some of those best ideas for ourselves. So really, it's whatever you want to do. It's a blank canvas, but I want to see what you can do with your creativity to come up with something for this room. And if I think it's the best, then we're going to get started. We're going to actually stage this room.
Okay, I'm excited.
Hi, this is Kyler Dawson, and this is how I would stage the living room in Brian's new Airbnb. So as you enter the living room from the kitchen right here, the fireplace is going to be opposite side. I'm going to be using some of the free items that he already had in his listing. The first one will be the rug from the garage that'll go right in the middle. And also there's a white vase in the garage with some cotton plants that we're going to put in it, and that'll go right there on the side table in between the 2 chairs. And then there's a decorative piece that was kind of see-through, a piece of wall art that's going to go on the wall right here. It's a large piece of art opposite of the fireplace. And then as far as items I'm going to be purchasing, there's going to be 2 boxwood trees. They're going to go above the fireplace. They're about 24 inches tall on each side. And then over here, we're going to put the TV, which is opposite of the side door when you come into the house. And below it, we have a Scotland TV stand that's below that. All of that added up together is going to be about $1,200 to furnish this living room. And that's how I'm going to be furnishing the living room. Thank you, Kyler. Bye.
Hey there, me again. I did forget to add that I have the 55-inch TV with the router over the fireplace. So there you go. Add that to my file. Thank you.
We designed the room for Airbnb, and we hope you enjoy.
We used the Room Planner app to create a living room of approximate dimensions and use the sample furniture pieces provided in the app as stand-ins for the actual furniture found on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. This is the 2-dimensional layout.
Thank you for watching.
Still to come on House Hackers. The contestants compete to see who will win this competition using Brian's 5-step strategy.
Ready to become a house hacker? We are selecting a few new clients to work directly with Brian and his team to locate, list, and profit with properties in your area. To learn more, click the link below this video or visit freebnbcall.com.
All right, today is the day. We are going to announce the winner of the design challenge for my property. And that person is somebody who not only I think had the right kind of look, the right kind of feel and design for the particular room that we were working on, which was the living room, but somebody who was very thorough, somebody who got all the elements pulled together, got me a budget, brought it in on budget, did all the details that I was looking for, and gave me something that I think could possibly work for this particular property. And remember, it's so key on the way you design, the way you put the decor together, and the way you stage these properties. It's critical to how much you're going to make. And so that's why I chose this particular person's design. And the winner of the design challenge is Kyler. Congratulations, Kyler.
Thank you very much.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to take your design and I'm going to give you that budget that we agreed on. And you can go ahead and buy all the items, all the furnishings, all the decor for that room. Go ahead and get it staged and ready to go. So I think our next step is to go ahead and head over to the property.
Okay.
What do you say?
Yep.
Let's do this.
Okay.
All right, I want to just say, first of all, congratulations. I chose your plan over everybody else's.
Thank you.
And I thought it was the best for a few reasons. First of all, I love the style. It was kind of a mid-century modern kind of look. Everything worked together in the space. I really don't want to change much as far as the pieces that you chose. And then also I thought that it was really important is that you chose a sleeper sofa. And some people that submitted a plan actually did not, which I was kind of surprised by. It's absolutely crucial that we get a sleeper in a living room if at all possible. So I loved it, and I want to kind of walk through with you what we're going to do here. As you can see, I removed almost all the junk that was in here before, but left a few pieces that you actually said you were going to use. So that's great. We're going to use some of those. And the overall budget was pretty reasonable. What was the budget on this?
It was about $1,200.
About $1,200. All right, so why don't you walk me through, first of all, starting with the furniture pieces that we're going to put in here. What are the main pieces that are going to be in the center of the room, and then we'll work our way out.
Okay. So I found a couch online that was a sleeper sofa, as you mentioned, because I always want to get more heads in the house. And it was a black sleeper sofa, and then I was able to find the same one on Marketplace, the Facebook Marketplace, for half price, so about $300.
So you shopped for the sofa you wanted and then looked for a used version?
Yeah, exactly,
Oh, wow, okay.
and found one.
That's great.
So
Smart.
I placed that right there because I was going to put the TV on this wall, so I wanted the main area of seating to be facing the TV.
Okay.
And then I found it's like the cutout of a tree trunk, a low level coffee table.
Okay, right here in the center? Okay.
With little wrought iron legs on it. And then 2 yellow accent chairs. They're fabric accent chairs with wood legs coming off.
Okay.
And then kind of a nesting coffee table right here that's a white top with, again, wood coming off so you can slide them under each other or slide out.
And then tell me what you want to do with the fireplace. It's a beautiful fireplace, nice mantle here. What do you want to do here for decor?
Yeah, so I love the white of the fireplace. This was kind of my central focus and everyone's when you walk into the room. So I just wanted to put a few pieces that would pop it out a little bit.
Okay.
So I found 2 boxwood trees that I was going to put on either side. They're about 2 feet tall, green, so it brings a little green into the room. And then I was going to do a circular mirror right here in the middle.
Okay.
And it has a nice trim around the mirror, so it was a good decorative piece.
I remember the round mirror. My concern was it's not going to be very easy to mount it against the wall. I don't know if I want to drill into this at all. A round mirror is going to possibly roll off, but we could do maybe a square piece or something that's got a flat base to it, so it doesn't.
Got it.
It's not going to have a tendency to come off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then what are you going to do here on the hearth?
Yeah, so on the base of the fireplace, I found 2 decorative pillows. They're a little bit bigger, so they look good here decorating, or guests can use them on the couch if they want to. Mm-hmm. And then
It'd be kind of nice to sit here if the fireplace is on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can sit on the pillow too if you want.
Okay.
And then moving over to this corner, I wanted another taller tree. I found a 66-inch tree that looks the same color green as those up there, just to put right here on the side frame of the fireplace.
Something darker, right? Because everything in here is so light.
Yeah, just a few dark tree items, green items to make it pop.
Okay.
And then right here, we're gonna put it's called a blanket ladder. So it's a whitewashed color, and it's just a little ladder that you lean up in the corner right here. And then I found 2 kind of throw blankets that are nice tones, the same as the room, to throw over the blanket ladder. And then obviously guests can use them if they want.
That's going to be nice and cozy to have that. People are going to want to know where they can get extra blankets, especially in the wintertime if they're enjoying the fireplace. That's
Exactly.
great. I didn't know what a blanket ladder was. So
Honestly, I've never had one, but I saw it and I thought it looked like a good item.
It looked really, really nice. So the pieces are great. And then once we start bringing these pieces in, by the way, I've ordered everything that you picked out. Everything's already been ordered. It's being shipped here.
Cool.
So the next few days we'll have all those items. Once we put those in place, then we're going to see which items are still missing. And a lot of times when you stage a place, you don't know how much you need until you start putting everything in its proper place. Well, my plan for this room is I want to make it a wow kind of look, and that's going to be the key photo that we're going to use on the listing. So it's very important that we get this right, and as you and I work together, we'll see which things work, which things don't, how to improve it. And then as we do that, once we get this room nailed down, we're going to go room by room. I want you to help me with the entire place, and we'll knock everything out.
Sounds good.
Okay? All right, so as the winner of the contest, we agreed that you get to use this property on Airbnb to make money with it. So let's talk about how that's all going to work.
Okay.
As the owner, I could rent this thing long-term for probably about $1,200 a month.
Okay.
So as a bare minimum, I want to be guaranteed that I want to make $1,200.
Okay.
But of course, I also want some of the profit because I'm going to be putting the money into furnishing the place.
Okay.
So your role would be to manage it, to manage the guests, to manage the listing, to get it up on Airbnb and all those kind of things. So what I'm thinking is we do a 50-50 split on any of the profits above the $1,200 a month.
Okay. So I know the overview of how that works, but at the end of the month, who's paying who? Am I getting all the money into my account and paying you? And how does that work exactly?
Yeah, well, what I would suggest the way we do it is it's your listing, you put it on your account on Airbnb,
Okay.
and then at the end of each month, you just send me a quick report that tells me how much we made,
Okay.
and we deduct the first $1,200 to me, and then everything else we split.
Okay.
And it's really that simple. Each month, you just kind of tell me where we're at, and I don't have any work to do, I don't have any management to do, any of that. You do all the day-to-day.
Okay, so I'm fine taking care of all the day-to-day stuff. What about, how do we split bills, the cable, the incidentals? If the handyman needs to fix something for $100, where does that get deducted? Is that split 50-50?
If it's your listing, then all those things fall on you.
Okay.
All the utilities fall on you, everything, just as if you were leasing the property.
Okay.
So you'd put the utilities in your name, because I don't really want any involvement at all in any of that kind of stuff. I like to be as hands-off as possible.
Okay.
And if you want to talk about you paying for all the furnishings in the house, then maybe I would consider giving a little bit more profit. But since it's coming out of my pocket, I think that's a fair
Yeah.
trade. It's really no money out of your pocket other than just your time.
Yeah, and I'd way prefer you to do the furnishing.
Yeah.
I know how painful and expensive that can be. Another question I have is, for you personally, in this area, what do you think this house would be pulling in revenue-wise, since I'm not that familiar with the area?
Based on my research, we're looking at 200 plus on the weekends,
Okay.
150 plus on the weekdays.
Okay.
But it could be considerably higher than that depending on what the season is, if there's any special events going on in town. This property will do quite well, but one thing that we can do to assure that we're going to get even more money, maybe bump it up to 250 on the weekends, is by putting more people in the house. And one of the things that you suggested is put a sleeper sofa in that room, but we could do even more than that. I think I know you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I'm down to put more sleeper sofas in that first room and everything, just to get more heads in there. So we're on the same page there.
We got 3 bedrooms, and
Yep.
we got two living rooms here in
Yes,
this house.
exactly.
So comfortably, very comfortably, we could put 10 people in this house. We got 2 bathrooms, so that's good.
Yeah.
If it was 1, it might be a stretch, but we could put 10 people in this house
Okay.
comfortably. And I think what
I
we would
agree.
do is we would charge for the additional 4. So
Yeah.
since there's 2 in each queen bed, I'd like to put some queens in here. That would be 6 people total, and the additional 4 we would charge per head extra.
Yeah.
So we could charge something like $20 per person per night, $15, $25, whatever it is, but
Yeah.
that'll add up pretty quickly.
For sure.
Because if you have 4 additional people at $25 a piece, that's $100 extra per night. So it could be considerably more than what we're looking at with the base nightly rate.
Yeah, agreed. Okay.
So that as a general rule, we want to go ahead and put more people in here.
Okay, and then another item, since you do have a contact, this is your area, you know a good handyman, maid service, or a maid, one person, could you put me in contact with them so I can build that relationship and then use them as well?
Absolutely. Your team members are going to be really important. Having your cleaning service that's going to be reliable and be able to get in and out in that short time frame, I can refer you to a company that does that. We're going to be looking for a large franchise style company that handles hundreds of homes in the area. And then a handyman, a person that can tackle any kind of small issues that come up. We're going to have somebody like that. I have somebody we can refer as well.
Okay.
So any kind of small repair, we can get that done, or switching out light bulbs, anything that comes up,
Yeah.
we'll get that covered as well.
Okay,
and
perfect.
that'll be the 2 main people on your team that
Yeah.
you're going to need to be concerned with.
Okay, so just getting down to the nuts and bolts, how much do you predict both of us will take home at the end of every month?
I estimate this house will probably bring in around $4,000 a month in bookings.
Okay.
That's based on what I'm seeing on the comps, what I'm seeing on Airbnb. I went to AirDNA, did some research, and I kind of know the area. So I think about $4,000 is a pretty conservative number. Now, if we back out of that $4,000, something as much as $400 in utilities, I know this house wouldn't be anywhere near that, but let's be really conservative here. Now we're down to $3,600. So if you give me my $1,200 that I need right off the bat, then we're talking another $2,400. We both split that. You make 12 and I make 12. So I'm making considerably more. I'm making basically double what I would normally make doing long term, which is why it's worth it to me to put a few $1,000s in here to get this place ready. I don't mind doing that. And you'd walk away with $1,200 a month with virtually no money out of your pocket and no long-term commitment, no long-term risks.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
It's like a good deal, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal.
And even if we don't hit those numbers, even if you make $800, $900 a month, semi-passive, ongoing for however long we have this deal, that's a great deal for you. And I think we might be pleasantly surprised. I think the numbers might even come in higher than what I'm estimating.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Great. That's a great deal all around. This is why it's a win-win. If you can get owners on board to do this, it's a win for them because they're going to make more money with no extra effort, and you get to cash flow massively on a property you don't own.
Yeah, and I really like the no upfront cost to me because I know how expensive it is to furnish, and I know the first rent and
Absolutely.
the deposit. I mean, your bank account goes down, down, down real quick.
It does.
So I really like that approach, and I'm excited to. I'm down to do this.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do this. I was very excited to win the staging portion of the contest. I didn't really know if I was going to be one of the front runners because staging really isn't my strong point, but I was super excited to win, and then I know with winning along came the opportunity to list it from Brian and actually run the Airbnb. I'm super stoked, and I think we're both going to make a good amount of money through it.
In this episode, we learned about how to make properties livable and get them ready for our guests. And in the next show, I'm going to talk about how to list them on the home sharing sites to start profiting with other people's properties. So I'll see you in the next episode of House Hackers.
Revenge travel is the phrase used to describe when people travel to make up for all the lost trips they weren't able to go on in 2020. And it is driving huge demand in short-term rentals. Brian and his team are now working with a select number of clients to launch and scale their own local B&B business. To learn more, click the link below this video or visit freebnbcall.com.